coders! Welcome to the Time channel, a beginner-friendly channel. In this video, I will talk about do while in detail in Java and pseudocode. Stay tuned!
Now the looping is do while loop. Do while loop is used to iterate an instruction until the specified Boolean condition is true. It will stop once the Boolean condition becomes false. Do while loop used when the number of iterations is not fixed. The exit control loop do while check the condition at the end of loop body. The loop will be executed at least once. Let's see the syntax. We have initialization, the same like in other looping. It is the initial condition which is executed once when the loop starts. And then we have condition. It is the second condition which is executed each time to test the condition of the loop. It continues execution until the condition is false. And then we have the code to be executed or the statement each time until the second condition is false. And also we have increments or decrements. It increments or decrements the variable value. Now let's see the example. The same like in while loop, I also use the same example here. The first example, you are asked to write a program to display hello 10 times. So the pseudocode will look like this. First, you have to understand that you have a repetition job. You will have to display hello 10 times. So it means we need a variable to count. The variable that I use here is the x. If our x starts from 1, it means our stop condition will be x less than 10. And then, how to reach from 1 to 10? It means we need to increase x by 1 each time we execute the code. So it's x plus plus. It means equal to x is x plus 1. Next, what's the statement or the code to be executed? Here is the hello.
Now let's see the conversion of pseudocode to Java. In this case, I'm using Eclipse.
To save the time, I already prepared the program, so I will just paste it here. Exactly like our pseudocode. The first thing is the initialization. We initialize x by 1. And then we have the block of do while here, the condition to stop the looping. And then the increment of x, and then here is the task to repeat. Now let's compile and run it, and that's the result.
Now let's see the second example. You are asked to write a program to display numbers from 2 to 12. If you think that the task is not that simple anymore, it's a good idea to find a pattern first before writing the pseudocode or the program. So here, the pattern that we can learn is we have to display it 6 times. You have to display numbers 6 times, start from 2 to 12. It means there is repetition job. Another thing that you can learn from this is the first number to display is 2 times 1, and then the second 2 times 2, and then the third 2 times 3, and so on and so forth. So the pseudocode will look like the following. Say for example, I want to display it 6 times, then my initial value start from 1 like this, then I will have to stop when my x less than equal to 6. So as soon as it's more than 6, it will stop the looping and execute the following task or command after the loop. The next step is how to make x reach 6 from 1 to 6. Then we need increments here. We will increase the value of x by 1 every time we do the looping over here. And then the next is the statement or the code that you want to execute. We already find the pattern that to display the first number is you multiply 2 by 1. For the second number, you multiply 2 by 2. For the third number, you multiply 2 by 3 and so on. So we can find the pattern. It looks like this: 2 times x. The x come from the variable we have. So here is the result. Let's see the tracing table to make it clearer. So every time you execute the program, it's always start from here, and then the x is 1. Enter the looping. As soon as enter the looping, we will execute whatever value inside the looping. So our job here to multiply 2 by x, 2 times 1. So it is 2. Since we are asked to print it here, so we put it under output. Once we are done with this, we read increment. It means we will increase x by 1. Now our x is 2. Continue. The x now is 2. 2 less than equal to 6. This is our condition to stop. It's still true. Since it is still true, go back doing the job. Okay? So here true. We go back to the job again. 2 times x, 2 times 2, it's 4. We print it, so we put it under output. And now we execute the increment. Our previous x plus 1 become 3. And then we check again, 3 less than equal to 6, true. It means we have to go back. The same thing for 4 later on, for 5 and 6. As soon as it is in 6, 6 less than equal to 6, then we go back to this, then it will print 2 times 6, which is 12 here. We increase again by 1, so it becomes 7. And then we enter the condition, 7 less than equal to 6 is false. As soon as it's false, it quit the looping and it will execute whatever instruction after this. Now let's see the conversion of pseudocode to Java. In this case, I'm using Eclipse. Now let's see the conversion of our pseudocode. The same here, I prepared the code and then I just paste it here. So we initialize s by 1 and then we will stop at x less than equal to 6 and we increase the x each time we execute the job, and then here is the task to repeat. Let's see the result. Okay, it prints exactly as we want. Now let's see our third example. You are asked to write a program to calculate m to the power of n. As I mentioned earlier, when our case is not that simple anymore, it's a good idea to find the pattern first before you write the pseudocode or the program. So here, we assume that our number is 2 power of 3. So it means 2 times 2 times 2. So it means there is a repetition job. We repeat multiplying number by itself 3 times. So the program will look like this. We want to repeat the job 3 times. We want to start it from 1. Once we start it from 1, since I want it 3 times, it means I will stop when my condition is less than equal to 3. In this case, the n, I change it to 3. And then how to reach the variable x from 1 to 3, then it means we need increment. We will increase the x by 1 every time we are done doing this job. And then what number that you are going to calculate is number 2. We put it under variable. And then what's the job? Multiplying the number by itself, and we hold it in a certain variable. In this case, I use sum for the variable. Since I'm using a variable here, so the sum need to be initialized. We initialize it by 1 because any number multiplied by 1 is that number itself. And then after that, we can print the result. So to make it clearer, let's see the tracing table here. So as always, it's always start from this. X start from 1, and then number is 2, and then sum is 1. Now we enter the looping. This is what you have to pay attention with the do while loop. No matter what the condition, it will always enter the looping at first, since the condition is at the end. Okay, so we enter the looping, and then we do this job. Sum times number. Our sum is 1. Our number is 2. So the result is 2. We hold it under sum. So our sum now is 2. We read the next statement or code. We increase it by 1. So it becomes 2. Now we check the condition. The condition is x. Our x now is 2. Is 2 less than equal to 3? The answer is yes or true. Here is true. Then we go back to the beginning of looping. We enter the looping again, and then we multiply it. Our sum now is 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. We hold it under sum. So our sum now is 4. And then we continue reading the x++. So it means our x become 3. Once we are done, we enter the condition. We check. Is 3 less than equal to 3? The answer is yes. It means true. Since it is true, go back to the beginning. We enter the looping again. Our sum now is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Hold it under sum. And then again, we increase the x. Our x now become 4. 4 less than equal to 3. False. As soon as it's false, it will quit the looping. Quit the looping. Read the next statement or code after the looping. Now let's see the conversion of our third example. As always, I provided the programming already, so I will just paste it here. So as you can see here, we initialize the variable x by 1, and then here is the number that we want to calculate. And as we multiply 2 by itself, we keep the result under sum, and also we initialize it by 1. And we enter the looping. Inside the looping, we will keep on repeating this job, and as we are done with the job, then we increase the x by 1, and then check the condition. If it's true, it will go back to the beginning and then repeat the same job again. Check again. Once it's false, then it will quit the looping and execute the following instruction, which is this one, to display the sum. Now let's see the result. Okay, that's the result. You can also modify this program by inputting the number as well as the power that you want to calculate by inputting it from the user. Now let's see the flowchart of do while loop. It starts from the statement. It will enter, the statement will be executed no matter what, because the condition to evaluate is at the end. Once the condition fulfilled, it will go back to the statement, run again the statement, and then check again. When the condition becomes false, then quit the looping and then execute the following code or statement. Let's compare it to our previous pseudocode. So here we have x equal to 1. Since there is no checking, whatever the x value, we'll enter the statement and then we will run it. Okay? If we ask to print it, then print. And then increase the value. From here, then we check the condition. If it's true, it will go back to the statement. If it is false, then quit the looping and then execute the following statement. Here I give you an exercise. You are asked to write a program with the following expected outcome. Please try to write the pseudocode as well as the conversion to Java. Feel free to share it in the comment.
Well,
If you learned something from this video, please subscribe and like for more videos. Thanks for watching.